Well, I've been in the midst of guys from school time to work time to casual meetings, and I've found some things quite unattractive about men. I've waited looking for a time I can talk about this because when you find these unattractive traits, it's quite embarrassing for you to sit the person down to tell the person, do you know these traits are ugly? Why would you even display these traits? It doesn't even fit in. 95.5% of women find these traits unattractive. Even when you are dating them, they are quite unattractive and they don't know how to tell you, but you need to stop displaying this attitude. I'm going to dive right into it. Just stick around. Hello everyone, my name is Ify. On this channel, we talk about things that were not taught in school. If you are new to this channel, welcome to the family. The first thing that we find quite unattractive about guys is guys who find a way to brag about what they have. Like seriously, everything speaks for itself. You don't need to start pointing or showing or have a way to bring in what you have achieved, what you earn, what you have into conversation. Do you know how attractive it comes when we find out by ourselves that you have these things? And even though you have these things, you don't even say them. Oh my God, it doubles your respect. So it's so petty, guys. It's so petty for you to keep finding a way to chip in your achievement, what you have achieved. So what I'm doing now is to tell you guys to find a way to keep these things. Just keep it away. It doesn't show you are masculine. It doesn't show that you have achieved a lot. It simply shows and exposes your insecurities. So don't talk about what you earn. Don't even find a way to ship it in. Just allow conversation to flow naturally. Don't answer the call and make them hear that over the phone. No way. Don't just find a way to make it shown, okay? That's trait number one. Number two is that when you go out on a date with this guy, they actually take over the conversation talking about themselves. Like seriously, you are here with someone else. The conversation shouldn't just be about you. It should be about you, little about the other person you are with, and little about other events. Not just make the conversation just you and you alone. So cut down me thing when it comes to just pay attention to find out more about the other person and allow them to be curious, to ask you more about yourself. When they ask you more about yourself, don't you know it comes more attractive, more interesting? Yeah, so the thing is that don't be me when it comes to conversation. Just find a way to balance it up, okay? Another thing we find uninteresting in a guy is complaining. Remember when you are with a guy who would always throw a temper tantrum all the time, talk about the movies, it's not so interesting, the taxi man drove so fast, that the ticket man took time in delivery. There's so many things he's going to talk about, always complain about one thing or the other, and then you feel exhausted. At that point, you don't even know how to tell them, shh, can you just stop talking? You're saying too much. Especially when the relationship is quite new. It's quite unattractive. You should be the one controlling things, trying to protect him, not you complaining all the time. It wears off and quite unattractive, guys. Another trait that we find quite unattractive is talking too much. When you go out, select your words and let your words be chosen. Choose your words. Don't just say everything. Sometimes I see it as a sort of insecurity when you want to talk about everything. Be the one talking, asking. Shh, there's beauty in silence. There are time to talk and time to keep quiet. So you don't have to take up the space and talk all day. Because nobody's going to tell you stop. The thing about this thing is that it's hard for someone to tell you to stop talking because they will feel that it is embarrassing. So then you are wearing them out. You are exhausting them when you are talking on and on and on. So we find it unattractive when you talk too much. So weigh your talk and talk what's important, okay? Another one I want to talk about is a lazy man. A lazy man is super unattractive because a man naturally is built to be productive, to provide. Imagine seeing a lazy man who always gives excuses about he can't get this, he can't get that, he didn't even care. So it's quite unattractive. We don't know how to tell you that. It doesn't matter how much you bring back home. You must not bring back home $1 million, 500 million. You don't need to. But let us see that you really have the zeal and desire to provide for your family. You really need to provide for your family, and you show that in action. A man who gives excuses instead of going to work, he will tell you that, oh, I couldn't get it because I tried all I could, I can't. Can I kill myself? Am I supposed to? I mean, you need to figure it out. Find a way to carry your family along and provide for your family. What I'm saying today is that it is quite unattractive, extremely unattractive, when a man who is a provider gives excuses for not working. For us, it is lazy and it is not attractive. So find a way to work against this and be productive in everything you do, because actually anything you put all your heart and hand to do, there must be a way for you. Universe will open the doors for you, so you go do that, okay? I'm going to talk about this one. When I was pregnant for my son, I went to bank and there was so much crowd in the bank, and I was obviously pregnant. I think I was about 7 months pregnant, and I was tired standing up. There was a guy seated down, and everybody was telling this guy, can you please stand up for this pregnant woman to sit down? I wanted to beg this guy that I can't catch my breath, I want to sit down. This guy told everybody who cared to listen that I'm not pregnant for Jesus Christ, that he came here before me, that I should wait for him to finish before I sit down. I told everybody that was begging him to stand up for me to just allow him to sit down. And he maintained his stand, did everything he did, and walked out of the bank. Hey, there was nothing as unattractive as a man who does not show respect to old people, to pregnant women, doesn't even show concern. There's nothing unattractive about that. So if you're a man who disrespects pregnant women, or you're not kind to the elders, it is super unattractive. Nobody's going to tell you that. You could look at it from your ego, like the guy who refused to stand up for me said he came before me, and he was right. He came before me, but at some point I felt I needed to sit down, but I can't tell him to stand up for me. But people were telling him, and he didn't listen. Nobody dragged him off the chair, and he did his thing and go. He has gone, but I still remember that I felt mostly disgusted about this kind of person, and I would never want my sister, my friend, my daughter, or anyone I know to have anything to do with this kind of a man. There are men like that too. So in situations like that, we see this kind of men everywhere we go, and we tag them pretty unattractive. So if you have this kind of traits in you, weigh it off. It's not fantastic. You can go down to the comment section and tell me what you feel you have found mostly unattractive in a guy, and if you have ever had any experience at all, like related to kind of experience that I have had, you can go down to the comment section and tell me what that is, and I'll give a heart to each and every one of your comments. If this video is what you like, why don't you go ahead to click on the like button, subscribe to this video so that more people will be recommended to watch this video. Thank you.